Nicole Smith from Blood and Iron Martial Arts, and today we're going to continue our look at the rapier and how to control your opponent's sword. Now, contrary to popular belief, sword fighting is not just about stabbing the other guy. It's the fun part, but there's more to it than that. If all I do is stab the Steve, he's more than likely just going to stab me back. What I need to do is find some way to control his sword so I'm the one doing all the stabbing. Now, depending on what manual or master you may be studying, this technique will have several different names. But for simplicity's sake, we're going to refer to it the way that we do within Blood and Iron. We call it creating a wedge. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have a Steve of your own, have them hold a sword out in front of them and try and keep the point on line while you create your wedge. There are 3 rules that we have to consider. First one, keeping the true edge of your sword facing your opponent's blade. Second, have a stronger part of your blade over a weaker part of theirs. And third, using the strong part of your sword, take their tip offline and keep your point online to whatever target you happen to choose. Now, give this a try. You should be able to do this from both the inside and the outside lines. For this demonstration, I'm going to show you from the outside line first. So, rules that apply. True edge of my sword faces theirs, stronger part of my blade over a weaker part of theirs, displaced with the stronger part of my sword, and lunge. And for the inside line, again, true edge of my sword faces theirs, strong over weak, displace with the strong, and lunge. What happens when your opponent creates a wedge against you? Well, one of your options is the disengage. But that's a little complicated, and I think I'll save that one for another video. Your other option is to create a counter wedge. And the best way to do that is to back up, bring the weak of their weapon onto the strong of yours, cross their line, choose your target, and lunge. Now that you can create a wedge and you can defend against one, there's a couple different drills you can do with your Steve. Firstly, you can take turns creating the wedge against each other. Next, you can create a counter wedge against each other. Then you can combine the 2 drills and do it semi-competitively, creating wedges and counter wedging. Well, thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. And a big thank you to our Patreon supporters, without whom none of this would be possible. If you did enjoy today's video, please like and subscribe. And remember, if you don't put in the training, you won't get the result. Now, if when you're doing these drills, you notice both you and your Steve are getting stabbed, there's a couple of things that might be happening.